welcome. We are going to do a spine and core focus practice today. Now, I know what you might be thinking, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to do sit-ups, and that's actually not the case at all. So as we know, the core, or you may not know, but the core is really important to our spinal health. And there are a lot of ways that you can activate and strengthen your core without having to do sit-ups. So we'll touch on a few of those today, and really it just becomes about bringing awareness to the core in a variety of traditional postures you're probably used to practicing in a yoga class. And then we'll also, of course, focus on the spine as well. Back pain is a leading cause of disability in our country, and so I love that yoga gives us this opportunity to move the spine in all the directions that the spine moves. So neutral, bending from one side, bending to the other side, forward folding, back bending, twisting, and also going upside down. So we'll touch on all of those in this practice. We'll isolate some of the spinal muscles to bring in a little bit of strength, and hopefully at the end you will feel nice and strong, confident, and open-hearted. So we'll start in a seated position. Let's take a cross-legged seat today. If that works for your body, if it doesn't work for your body, then any other seated position will do. And go ahead and close your eyes and find a nice upright spine. And if you find it challenging to find an upright spine from a seat, a good little tip is to place a blanket, a rolled up blanket, or maybe a pillow underneath your sit bones and just elevate them a bit from the floor. Now sitting upright, bring that sense of relaxation into the posture, taking the shoulders away from the ears. And then also that sense of open-heartedness, widening through the collarbones, opening through your chest. So the core, our sense of confidence, with a strong spine, we can really show up with that confidence and also that sense of open-heartedness. So as we move through practice today, just try to cultivate both qualities inside of you. Confidence and the courage to be open-hearted. Breathing into these qualities. As we inhale, we fill the belly completely, and we fill our chest completely. And as we exhale, we release completely from the chest and all the way back down through the belly. Deep inhale, filling the belly, filling and lifting the chest. Slow exhale, releasing the chest, breathing down deep into the belly. One more right here, fill up and empty out. And then from here, working into the cervical spine, just drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, opening up through the left side of the neck. So this is place one to stop if you're feeling plenty of sensation here. Also the option to walk the left fingers off the leg, off to the left. If you want to take it one step further, taking the right fingers to the left temple and just guiding the right ear closer toward the shoulder. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift your head back up through the center and switch it out, dropping the left ear toward the top of the left shoulder. Take a pause here, check in. If this is enough, stay. Perhaps add on walking the right fingers off to the right, taking the left fingers to the right temple. Slowly lift the head back up to center. Relax both hands down. Take the chin to the chest. Stretching out the back of your neck, so the uppermost part of your spine. It might feel nice to take the chin here from side to side, like you're tracing your collarbones. And then pause in the center as you inhale. Lift the head, tilt the chin up. So stretch the front of your throat. These neck stretches really great, especially since we look down so much nowadays at devices, computers. And go ahead and put your head on straight, lifting through the crown of the head. Start to open the eyes. Walk the hands forward. Come to a tabletop, all fours position. Take a moment here to set up a nice solid foundation, the palms pressed down into the earth. Something that's so important in these balance postures, which we're about to make this a balancing posture, is to pull that navel up and in toward the low back to really stabilize. From here, lift the left leg up, send it straight back behind you, pointing the toes down toward the ground. Again, keep drawing belly up and in, and then reach your right fingers forward. So a little spinal traction here, just lengthening through the spine, also cultivating a lot of strength here down the sides of your spine. Take a breath and lengthen. Let's add in a little core work. Exhale, bring your right elbow to touch your left knee, rounding through the body. Hold this first one, tuck the chin into the chest, so finding that stretch in the back of the neck, the round in the spine. Next, inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, elbow to knee, hollow the belly, draw the navel up and in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Once more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, give those limbs a little more lift. And then exhale, set the knee and the palm down. Let's rinse it out. Inhale, drop the belly, send the chest forward, take the eyes up, stretch the front of the throat. Exhale, round into the spine, tuck the chin in, feel the tailbone drop. Back to that neutral spine. Again, feel that low belly, pull up and in to support the low back. Send your right leg straight back behind. Point the toes down, spin the inner thigh up, reach your left fingers forward. So make the backside of your body nice and long. Let that include the crown of your head, so the neck is also long here, getting the benefits of that traction. Breathe in. Elbow to knee, hold this first one. So tucking the chin into the chest, hollowing the belly, feel that squeeze of the belly button up and in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, get nice and long. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, once more, lengthen. Exhale, curl in. Lengthen, lift, inhale. Palm down, knee down, exhale, rinse it out, drop the belly, send the chest forward. Exhale, round the spine and tuck the chin in. Return to that neutral spine, pressing deep into the palms. Tuck the toes, lift the knees to just a hover. So you'll probably feel the core really activate here. So think about that breath really coming into the lungs. So the inhales expand out through the sides of the lungs. With each exhale, you draw that navel up and in, just practicing this strong core engagement. Take one more breath in here. Keep the core engagement as you exhale, slowly straighten the legs, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few moments to pedal out your first down dog, bending through one knee at a time, maybe shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. And then settle into center, so feel into this now. So you're pressing the palms down and forward into the mat, almost as though you're gonna slide your mat forward. Slide the shoulder blades up toward the tailbone. You really wanna feel a lot of length in the spine here. This posture is so nice on the low back, it gives it relief. So we're doing sort of the opposite that we do when we sit all day and put pressure into our low back. Now, if the hamstrings are feeling really tight, know that you don't have to straighten the legs. A soft bend in the knees, maybe a lot of bend in the knees, is really nice here, especially to enhance the lengthening of your spine. Breathe in. And then exhale, unplug your hands, walk them back to your toes. Once you get to the back of the mat, keep the left fingers down. Inhale, reach your right arm to the ceiling. So adding in our first twist here, you might find it nice to put a little bend into the left knee, some softness there. As you open the right chest, stacking right shoulder on left shoulder. Big breath in. And release, right fingers down as you breathe out. Switching out the sides, keep the right fingers down, reach the left fingers high. And just sort of play around with placing a bend into the right knee as you need, starting to rotate open through the right or the left shoulder, the left chest. Breath in. And fold, breath out. This time catch a hold of opposite elbows. Put softness into the knees if you haven't already. This pose called ragdoll, really just about hanging heavy into yourself. Letting this fold be completely relaxing. Release your fingertips down. Inhale, come just halfway up so the spine becomes parallel with the ground. Take your hands to your hips. So catching hold of the fronts of the hips. Now take your elbows up toward one another. Like you're hugging your elbows towards your spine. Points of the elbows facing straight up. So feel how that activates the upper back. The shoulder blades draw in a bit. The collarbones spread, lengthening the crown of the head forward. Now come back to that core. Pull the low belly up and in. Keep that engagement. Inhale, slowly rise to stand. Take your time. Reach the arms over your head. Stretching up through your 10 fingers as you root down strong in your feet. So we call this high mountain. It's a really strong pose. The kneecaps lift, the fronts of the thighs lift. That core still engaged. Breath in, reach a little taller. Breath out, side bend over to the right. You'll drop the right arm along the right side. Reach the left arm up and over, like your fingers are tracing the ceiling. Create a little space in the left chest, maybe peeking up toward the ceiling. Next breath in, come through the center, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, take that bend off to the left, dropping the left arm, reaching the right arm. Keep that space across the collarbones. Breath in, reach up, lengthen. Breath out, slide the hands down to the hearts. Yeah, just take a moment, feel yourself here. That sense of confidence hopefully building in your core. That sense of open-heartedness, courage, hopefully beginning to emanate through your chest. How can I show up strong? How can I show up with more heart in my life, with more love in my life? Inhale, start to open the eyes, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, side bend to the right, drop the right arm, reach the left fingers up and over. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, let your fingers fall toward the mats. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands out to plank pose. Plank pose, a core strengthener for sure. So once you find your place with shoulders over wrists and heels over your toes, decide, do I need to drop my knees? It can still be incredibly core strengthening even with the knees dropped. Now pull up and in on that low belly, press the earth away. Use some resistance here to capture even more strength in the body. Shift forward as you inhale, lower all the way down to the ground on your exhale. Release to the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift your chin and chest for cobra, and then hover your palms an inch or so off the mat. So some upper spine strengthening here. Shoulder blades draw together. Yeah, you don't have the use of your palms here to do this lift, and of course, in case you need them. Give it one more breath in. And then exhale, release. Tuck your toes like one unit. Press up to plank pose. Inhale. With a strong core, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Breathing here. Feeling that length of the spine, continuing to pull the low belly up and in. Start to settle the eyes to one point, maybe between the legs or up to the navel. Next breath in. Lift onto your tiptoes. Bend your knees, and then exhale, step 1 foot at a time, feet up to hands. Halfway lift, top of the mat, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in. Root down, use your strong core. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, side bend off to the right. Inhale, back through the center, lengthen, look up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, through the middle, reach nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold, fingers to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, feel the belly pull in. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Inhale, shift forward with a strong core. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Cobra pose with no hands, just an inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes like one unit, press up, plank, breath in. Use your core, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Come high on the toes, breath in, bend the knees, lead with the other leg. First this time, step feet up to hands. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in, one more round. Root down, rise up, reach up with a strong core. Exhale, big side bend off to the right. Inhale through the middle. Exhale, bend to the left. Through the middle, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward folds. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Inhale, shift forward, strengthen into the center. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the earth. Cobra, no hands. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower chin and chest like one unit. Press up, plank pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Rise to your toes, bend your knees, step feet up to hands. Halfway lift, breath in, fold forward, breath out. Big toes to touch. Keep the fingertips on the mat at first. Start to sink the hips down and back for chair pose. So we want to be in a strong foundation here. Heels rooting down, inner thighs squeezing. Start to lift now, chest followed by arms. Arms extending along your ears. So you want to maintain some of the natural curve in the low back. So let's actually bring our hands to our hips. And just start to feel, am I over tucking my tailbone or am I sticking my tailbone unnaturally, like really far out? And sort of find that neutral position. From there, with the help of your hands, sink your hips just a little lower. Now return your arms back alongside your ears. Pull up on the pelvic floor, draw the belly button in. So locking into what we call those bandhas, those energy locks, harnessing your energy right in the center of the body. As the tailbone drops lower, reach a little longer, take a breath in, and forward fold, release, breath out, halfway lift, inhale, plant the palms, step the feet back to plank pose as you exhale, shift forward, breathe in. Let's try on low plank this time as you breathe out. So coming halfway down, no more than that. Hugging elbows to ribs. Again, strong belly. Upward facing dog. Flip to the tops of the feet. Draw the shoulders back. This should feel like a really nice stretch for the core here. So feel that as we also open the heart. Breath in. Tuck the toes. Lead with your core. Downward facing dog. Breath out. Send your right leg up and back behind you. Pressing the heel up toward the corner of the room, right behind you, driving the palms down and forward. Breath in. Take the right knee toward the right elbow, tricep, wherever you can get it. Just doing the best you can. Shoulders come over wrists. That belly hugs in. Inhale, send the right heel up and back. Exhale, take the right knee to the left elbow. So cross it underneath the body here. Take a breath in, hold. A breath out, stay. Inhale, sweep the heel up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Right through the center line of your body. Yes, now hollow the belly, get it as close or as away from the floor, your mat, as you can. Start to look forward. Use your core. Lightly land right foot between the hands. Stay on your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward, just like that halfway lift. And then exhale, reach your arms back behind you like airplane wings. So the legs are long and strong. You've got the support of your belly tractioning through the spine. As you inhale, reach the arms forward, palms face in toward one another. Get long in the side body. Stay for the exhale. And then keep reaching forward as we start to lift up to high lunge, crescent lunge. So forward and up with the fingertips. Sink lower into the legs as you draw up and in through that pelvic floor, that belly button, finding those locks right in the center. Take one more breath in. Maybe you look up with this inhale. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back, lower, halfway, or all the way. We've flowed through our options. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left heel up and back behind you. Stay strong in this three-legged dog. Sometimes we open. Keep strength and stability here, driving the heel back. Breath in. Slide the left knee to the left elbow or tricep. Again, as close as you can get it. Just doing the best you can. Inhale, send the heel back high. Exhale, take the knee over to the right elbow or tricep. Stay for a breath in. Hold on the breath out. Inhale, heel high. Slide the knee right through the midline to the nose. Shoulders over wrists. Hollow the belly. Pull that shin bone up and in. Now look forward. Use your core to lightly land left foot between the hands. On your fingertips, lengthen your spine. Exhale, reach the arms back behind. Pulling that belly up off the left thigh, extending through the crown of the head at the same time, reaching your fingers to the wall behind you. Next, inhale, arms forward, palms face in. Yeah, get long in the side body as you hold on the exhale. Keep reaching forward, then up. Inhale, crescent lunge. So using some of that core strength to lift you here. Now drop the tailbone a little lower. Keep bending into the left knee. Last inhale, maybe you look up. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step the left foot back and lower. Find your back bend, inhaling. Lead with your core, downward facing dog. Exhale, stay, breathe in. Stay, breathe out. Rise to your toes, bend your knees, step or float, feet to hands. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees, sink your hips, chair pose. Just an inhale, drop the tailbone low. Exhale, release, forward fold, let the head be heavy. Halfway lift, breath in. Step or float your feet back, lower halfway or all the way on the same breath out. Upward facing, lift your chest. Downward facing, send the hips up and back. Lift your right heel, inhale. Right knee taps, right elbow, exhale. Heel high, breath in. Left elbow, breath out. Heel high, inhale. Draw the knee to the nose first. Step forward, exhale. On your fingertips, lengthen your spine, breathe in. Reach your arms back behind, breathe out. Reach the arms forward first, then up, crescent lunge, same inhale. Palms to the mat, step the right foot back, lower, same exhale. Upward facing, breath in. Downward facing, breath out. Lift your left heel, inhale. Knee to left elbow, exhale. Heel to sky, breathe in. Right elbow, breathe out. Heel to sky. Knee to nose first, lightly land between the hands. Fingertips, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, stretch your arms back behind. Forward first, you reach, then up. Same inhale. Hands to the mat, step back, lower. A slow exhale. Upward facing, lift, fill your chest. Downward facing, send your hips up and back. Stay, breathe in. Stay, breathe out. Rise to your toes. Bend your knees, step or float, feet to hands. One more round, halfway lift. Exhale, bow in, chair pose, sink the hips low, stretch the arms long. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Feet back, lower nice, slow and controlled on the exhale. Back bend, breath in. Downward facing, breath out. Right heel lifts, right knee, right elbow. Right heel high. Right knee, left elbow. Heel high, knee through the midline, stepping forward on your fingertips, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, reach your arms back. Reach your arms forward first, then up, crescent lunge, inhale. Palms to the mat, lower in control, exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left heel lifts, left knee, left elbow. Heel high, inhale. Right elbow, exhale, heel high, to the nose, look forward, step forward, inhale, long spine. Exhale, arms behind, reach forward first with long arms, go up, crescent lunge, fill, palms to the mat. You know the rest. Will meet in downward facing dog. Good work, everybody. Body warm, breath strong, focus deepening. Go ahead and drop your knees to the mat. Come to a tabletop. Step your left toes back behind, but this time keep them on the mat. Spin the left foot flat so the foot is completely pressing in. Angle the right shin bone out, rolling onto right hand. Lift your left arm to the sky. So starting off with this modified version of side plank. It's basically mountain pose on its side in a modified version. So pull up and in on the low belly. Use the strength of that outer left leg to start to float left foot off the mat. See if you can make the left leg parallel with the ground. Now turn the left palm in front of you and start to reach left arm over your ear. So the palm faces down, the left heel lifts in line with the hip. Take a breath in here, lengthen, breath out. Take your left knee to touch your left elbow. Little oblique work, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Lengthen, inhale. Return to tabletop, exhale. Flush it out. Drop the belly hard forward. Breath in. Round the spine, chin in, breath out. Neutral spine, stepping now. Right toes back behind. Spin the right foot flat. Angle the left shin bone out. Start to send your right arm to the sky. Take a moment in this place of more support. Set up a solid foundation for yourself. Hugging the low belly up and in. And then starting to float. Right foot off the mat. Again, hug in here. Feel that support. Now stretch right arm over right ear. Palm faces down toward the ground. Inhale, way lengthen. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. Get long, inhale. Elbow to knee, exhale. Lengthen, inhale. Elbow to knee, exhale. Lengthen once more. Return to tabletop. Rinsing it out, drop the belly hard forward. Round the spine, chin in. Come to that neutral spine, pressing into the palms, tuck the toes, lift the knees to a hover. We were here earlier, if you remember, so hug up and in, adding a little movement this time. So picking the right hand up, tapping the front of the left shoulder, placing the right hand down, picking the left hand up, tapping the front of the right shoulder. Yeah, just a few more times on your own. Rotating through, stay aware of the core. So to protect the back here, especially tune into those low belly muscles. One more round. Step your feet back to plank pose. From your plank pose, drop down onto your elbows, forearm plank. Core work's not done yet. Yeah, so bring the shoulders right over tops of the elbows. Just notice what's happening with your palms. Are you gripping? Are the fingers clenched? See if you can bring some softness there. And you know you can always drop knees here if you need to invite in even more ease. Take a few breaths, just hugging everything into that center line of the body, so firming the outer thighs in, pulling that belly button up and in away from your shirt. And give it one more inhale. And then lower, knees and hips to the mat, release to the tops of the feet. Stay on your forearms. And like you're dragging your mat back, send your chest forward through the gate of your arms. A Sphinx pose. This is really nice on the spine here. Gentle stretch. If you want a little more, you can walk the palms forward, lift the elbows, come up to straight arms. Give yourself a breath in. And lower the chin and chest down on the breath out. Set the palms under the shoulders, tuck the toes, press up through your plank pose, nice and strong. And exhale, downward facing dog, breathing in through the nose. Let this one out through the mouth. Rise to your toes, slowly tiptoe, feet up to hands, or hop if you wish. Halfway lift, lengthen, and exhale, folds. Chair pose, inhale, let's rinse out this core with a nice twist here, bringing the hands to the heart. Sending the spine forward as you inhale. Bottom of your exhale, twist to the right. Hook your left elbow outside of the right thigh bone. So really think about this twist happening rib cage and above. We don't have a lot of twisting mobility in our lowest part of the spine, but we have more in our upper spine. So really open through the right shoulder. Keep the left palm right at the heart center. Reach the right arm to the sky. Just take this like half airplane version here. Peeling open the shoulder, sending the shoulder blade in toward the spine and maybe back toward the back pocket a bit. Breathe in. And forward fold, breathe out, release. Step your feet hips width distance apart, that's about 2 fists width. Bend your knees as much as you need to wrap your peace fingers around the insides of the big toes. So a little misconception that in our forward folds our legs have to be straight. For many of us that's just not possible due to hamstring tightness or the length of our bones or muscles. So I like being able to grab the toes. It gives us a little leverage, but don't force it. Maybe that means more of a bend in the knees. Just think about laying your belly on your thigh bones or getting it close to your thighs. That'll give you some added length in your low spine. And then from here, release the grip on the toes. Heel toe the feet back together to touch. Halfway lift, inhale, reset. Exhale, folds, bend the knees, chair pose, sink the hips. Bring your hands to your heart. Take an inhale to find some length. Bottom of your exhale, twist to the left, this time hooking the right elbow outside of your left thigh bone. Ensure the knees are somewhat in line. You're pulling the crown of the head forward away from your hips. Keep the right hand in that prayer position. Reach the left arm to the ceiling. A little softness in the left elbow was nice here. Slide the left shoulder blade in and down and see what's possible as you open that heart. Find that sense of open-heartedness. Not that it's easy, because oftentimes it's not, really to show our full selves. But just breathe through it with that calm, steady breath. Inhale. And forward fold, exhale. Again, separate the feet to fist width. Wrap the arms around the backs of the legs. Fold yourself in, hug yourself in. Again, bending in the knees as much as you need to. Maybe you can lay your entire torso on your lower body here. And then release, hands back out in front of you. Halfway lift, reset, inhale. Fold, exhale. Press down on the feet. Use your core. Inhale, rise up, reach up. High mountain pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Stepping onto the right foot, bring the left knee up and into your chest. Adding in some balance here. Now feel how the low core can really help with this lift of the left knee. Tall spine, not dumping back or leaning forward, but remaining upright. Breath in. Warrior three, send the left leg straight back behind you, just like we did in our tabletop. So think about that traction again as the heel drives back, the head lengthens forward. We're gonna add in a core challenge here. So keep your left leg straight. Inhale, rise up to that mountain pose, but keep the left foot hovered right above the mat. Don't touch it down if you can at all avoid it. And then exhale, return to warrior three. Foot straight back behind you. We'll try it 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, let the left foot hover, feel your core engage. Exhale, send it back, warrior three. Once more, inhale, lift up, let the foot hover. Exhale, send it back, warrior three. Pausing here for an inhale. Go ahead and drop the hands, standing split, exhale. Yeah, and if you had any cramping in the muscles, maybe a little Charlie horse there, feel free to maybe bend the left knee a few times, open the left hip. Let this pose feel in some way like a little release from all of that. One more breath in. And go ahead and step left foot up to meet the right as you breathe out. Take a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Use your core, rise up, reach up, breathe in. Hands to your heart, breathe out. Stepping onto the left foot. Now feel yourself use the abdominals to lift that right knee. So we're just moving more mindfully. Not adding in anything extra fancy here, but doing what we normally do in a more mindful fashion. Spine upright, take a breath in. Warrior three, take this first one slow. Sort of find your place, build that muscle memory. Driving the right heel back, lengthening your crown forward. Core so important, especially as we take this dynamic sequence here. Next inhale, rise, keep the legs straight, right foot hovers. Exhale, take it straight back behind you, warrior three. Lower the chest till it's parallel with the ground. Inhale slowly, taking your time, rise, right foot hovers. Exhale, take it back, warrior three. Once more to rise, inhale. Warrior three, exhale. Just stay, land here for a breath in. And standing split, find that release. Drop your head low, bend into the right knee a few times if you need, or maybe you stack and open the right hip. Inhale. Step right foot up to left, exhale. Halfway lift. Fold in. Inhale, rise up nice and strong, reach up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Again, stepping onto right foot. This time, send the left heel back behind you. Coming into dancer's pose, a balanced pose with a back bend built into it. So with the left hand dropping down, reach for the inside if you can of the left foot. If not, outside works too. And then stretch your right fingers up. Option 1 is to stay right here. If this is challenging enough for you, stay. Option 2 is to begin to kick left foot into left hand, working toward a C shape in your spine. So really pressing the sole of the left heel up toward the ceiling, and then eventually starting to lengthen and reach the right fingers forward. And inhale, slowly rise back up. Exhale, release left foot to the mat, arms by your sides, just in between from a neutral spine. Breathe in and breathe out. Stepping onto the left foot, lift the right heel back behind with the right hand, catch a hold of the right foot. Reach your left fingers up above you. Remember, option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to start to kick right foot back into right hand, really feeling the right glute, the right hamstring engage. Inviting that C shape into the spine. It was like she shed. And maybe eventually starting to lower the chest down, but not compromising the back bend to do that. Stretching the left fingers forward. Set your 2 eyes to 1 point. Next inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, release. Right foot to the mat, arms by your sides. Take a breath in and a breath out. Home stretch, everyone. Reach up, look up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, lots of length. Breathe in. Plant the palms, step the feet back, lower with lots of strength as you breathe out. Upward facing, a nice stretch for the core. Downward facing, lift your hips up and back. Lift your right heel, inhale. Step your right foot up to your right thumb. Flatten the left foot on the mat and then rise up. Using that core as you lift, warrior 1. So taking that right hip back a bit as we turn the left hip point forward. As you turn the left hip point forward, spin the inner left thigh back behind you. Now in these warrior poses or these standing poses, they're really a great time to feel that root lock again, or those bandhas, so that sensation of pulling up from the pelvic floor and then pulling in through the belly button. Breathe in. Warrior 2, send your arms to a T, turning the back toes out enough that the hip points now face the same direction as the long edge of your mat. Send your eyes forward. Feel yourself drop down a bit through the tailbone, maintaining that natural curve in the low back, but then again, pull up on the pelvic floor. So that these standing postures can be just as core strengthening as any other core movement we do. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right fingers up, then back. Core strong and engaged. Exhale, side angle. Drop the right forearm down to the thigh or the right fingers down. Reach your left fingers high. So keep core engaged. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach up and back. Exhale, side angle. Right arm down, left arm high. Once more. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. Pause here, stay here. Reach the left arm over your left ear. Again, palm spins down, just like we did from our side plank earlier. Now see if you can lift the right arm up as well. This will really take some extra juju into the core. Now turn your right chest up and open. Make sure you're breathing deep for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Exhale, straighten your front leg, your right leg. Exhale, reach your right fingers forward. Stay here, hang here. Yeah, so you want to feel that strong engagement of the abdominals here. That's going to keep you strong and stable in the pose, as well as the 2 feet rooting down. Get a little more length as you inhale. Now, lightly set the right fingers down and reach the left fingers high. You might even be able to do like Molly did here, and with that strong core, not even set her right fingers on anything. You know, see what's possible for you when you really tap into that center, that source of confidence. You know, sometimes when we're in that place, we find ourselves capable of doing things we might otherwise not have thought we were able to do. Breathe in, start to lift back up. Catch a hold of your hips with your hands. Start to pivot to face the front of the mat, stepping the left foot up about a third, maybe a little more, and out to the left. Keep right hand on right hip, reach our left fingers to the ceiling. Lengthen up through the left side body as you inhale. Come just halfway down as you exhale. Like a halfway lift with those left fingers extended forward. A breath in, find more length. Breathe out, set left fingers down on the mat or a block. Start to rotate right hip a little open, right shoulder open. That right hand nudging the right hip back. It likes to twist with us sometimes. Now you might take the right hand to the lower back and just make sure that that stays level and stable. If you're feeling good, you can reach right fingers to the sky and explore the fuller version of the twist. Now pair it with some big breaths in and out. These twists sort of give that wringing out effect of our spine, also massaging our internal organs. One more huge inhale. Right hand to the mat, exhale. Take a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, flatten the palms, step the feet back to downward facing dog. You can flow if you feel like you need that in between sides. We'll pause for a breath in and a breath out. Lift your left heel up and back behind you. Step your left foot up to your left thumb. Flatten your right foot on the mat. Use your core to help you lift warrior one. Ground down, strong in both feet, rotating those hips toward the front of the room, spinning the right inner thigh back behind you. Feel those bandhas, that pulling up, that pressing in. Inhale. Open for warrior two, arms to a T, hips face the sidewall, eyes look forward, minding that left knee, guiding it out toward the pinky toe side of the foot. Drop your tailbone down, lift the front side of your pelvis up. And then feel your low ribs draw in, contributing to that lock there right in your center. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep core strong. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Move from your center. Exhale, side angle. Once more, reverse. Inhale. Side angle. Hold here. Exhale. Lengthen your right arm over your right ear. And then bring your left arm up as well. Arms parallel, palms face in. Spin that left side of the chest up and open, out from underneath of you. Breathe, stay. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Reach forward. Just pause, just hold. Get so strong and steady in the feet, fired up in the belly. One more inhale to lengthen. Exhale slowly, lower left hand down. See what's possible. Reach right arm up. Can you, with the strength of your center, keep yourself suspended? Inhale, slowly rise up. Catch your hips with your hands. Pivot the toes to face the front of the room, stepping right foot up and out, just enough so feet are on two tracks. Left hand stays on left hip. Reach your right fingers forward, long in the right side body. Inhale, come just halfway down as you exhale. Pull belly button up and in, extend longer. Breathe in. Exhale, right fingers down to the ground or a block. Start to open up through the left shoulder, maybe taking left hand first to the low back. Keep the low back level, stable here as you take this twist, perhaps extending left fingers straight up overhead. Feel what's happening in the feet, in your hamstrings, in your low back, and then exploring the range of the mid-back, the upper spine. Feeling that sensation of rinse, of release. Huge inhale. Left hand to the mat, exhale, halfway lift, reset, exhale, flatten the palm, step it back or take one final flow, winding down our practice. We'll take a few back bends, sneak in just a little more core, and then we'll invite in lots of ease. So shift forward on your inhale out to plank pose. Going down nice and strong as that one unit to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Release your arms by your sides. Bring your legs together to touch. Chin in the center of the mat. Before we lift, take an inhale. On the exhale, pull the navel up and into the low back. Keep that engagement. Now inhale, lift up, chin, chest, arms, and legs for locust pose. So keep the core strong. The spine lengthens, crown of the head forward, isolating those muscles that run right along your spine here to help lift you up. But keep the low back nice and long so the tailbone draws back to the heels. One more breath in. And release, right cheek to the mat. Take a moment of rest, breathing in and breathing out. Return chin back to center. Place your right forearm parallel with the top edge of your mat. Kick your left heel up toward the sky. So think about dancer pose. We're basically doing that here now, except for we're on the ground. So since we took the inside of the foot earlier, I invite you to take the outside of the foot this time. So with the support of that right forearm pressing down, lift the chest. An option here to lift that left thigh off the mat. Again, inviting in this C shape. I did it again. She shed. This C shape into the spine. Also getting this nice little stretch in the front of the quad, in the left shoulder. Breathe in. And slowly release. Straighten the left leg back behind you. Switch your arms out. Left forearm braces out in front. Right heel lifts. Reach the right hand back. Catch the outside of the foot if you can. You can use a strap here or a towel as well. Pressing into the forearm. See what you can lift. Not inviting in struggle, but just taking this where your body is able to take it without any major discomfort. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Relax your arms by your sides, left cheek to the mat. Take a rest. Breath in. Breath out. Place your hands under your shoulders. Slowly start to take the hips back to the heels. Child's pose. Bring your knees together to touch to support our low back completely. If you want to bring in more softness to the shoulders, you can take your hands back towards your heels. This is a nice gentle stretch on the spine. Also a little bit of a light inversion. Slowly begin to lift chest off the thighs. Take hips off to one side. Swing your feet around in front of you. Keep your knees bent. Rolling onto the back edges of your sit bones. This long spine we've cultivated all class long. Keep this here. So option to grab behind the thighs, lift the feet, option to come to the tiptoes, option to lift the feet and extend the arms straight forward. Take whatever allows you to keep that sense of open-heartedness. Spreading through the collarbones, lifting up through the center of the chest, breathing nice and deep. Feel into the sensations of the core, the hip flexors. See if you can stay with it. 3 more deep breaths. One more inhale. Set the feet to the mat as you exhale. Catch behind the thighs with the hands and slowly make your way onto your back. One more back bends. Also really nice to stretch out the front side of the body. Bridge pose. Release the arms along your sides. Press deep into your feet. Inhale, peel the hips off the mat. So 4 corners of those feet rooting down, shin bones tracking forward, a little light squeeze into the glutes, into those muscles of the back, lengthening through the quads, the hip flexors, the belly, picking that chest up a bit, heart up, breathe in. And release slowly, tailbone back to the mat as you breathe out. Step your feet mats width distance apart. Bring your knees into touch, knocking them together. Another way to relax, release your low back. And then from here, hug knees into chest and the soles of the feet to the sky. As we invert the spine, you can keep it pretty easy right here with the tailbone on the ground. You can place a block under the low back to give yourself a little more lift, or shoulder stand, lift the hips, take the hands to the kidneys. Sending the feet straight up overhead. Bringing in some deep breaths here. Another way to take some pressure off the spine. Plow pose if you'd like, toes be on the head. Think of this as the seated forward fold, just sort of flipped upside down. So it's a great way to stretch out the whole back side of the body, including all parts of your back, the backs of your legs. And as you inhale slowly, send the feet back to the sky if they've left. Drop the knees into the chest. Hug them in, take a few rocks from side to side. And then set your feet down on the mat. And scoot your hips a bit off to the right here. Once they're off to the right, drop your knees to the left. Take your arms out to goalposts or a letter T. Finding one more twist in the body. We move the hips off a bit. It tends to take this twist away from the lower back and help release any discomfort in that area. Bring your knees back to the center, plant your feet, scoot the hips now off to the left. Drop your knees to the right. For a little more of a sensation in the twist, roll your chin toward your left shoulder. Breathe in. Knees to center. Just scoot your hips so they're directly in line with your shoulders. And then pull your knees up toward your shoulders. Happy baby pose, taking peace fingers to big toes or grabbing for the outer edges of your feet. If that seems too intense, either of those, you can also grab for the backs of your thighs. But with a little arm strength, draw your knees down toward your shoulders. See if you can feel a spine that flattens completely out on your mat. One last chance to invite in some traction, some lengthening. And from here, if you want to rock side to side, if you want to straighten one leg at a time, both legs can give you some additional stretch into the hips, the backs of the legs, before we completely relax every part of the body. And then release whatever you've grabbed onto. Hug the knees to the chest. Bring your forehead up to touch your knees. And just squeeze yourself in nice and tight. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Let your whole body go completely long. We worked on a lot of engagement today. This pose is like the antithesis, the opposite of that. Take a scan from your head through your toes and anywhere where you're still active in your physical body. See if you can soften and let go. Let your mat hold you up. As you lie here enjoying this place of centeredness and the confidence that comes along with feeling connected to your center. An open-heartedness, the courage that comes along with opening your heart and leading with your heart. and allowing your breath to softly weave it all together. For the last few moments of your Shavasana, I invite you to place a hand on the belly, place a hand on your heart, making a physical connection with these parts of yourself. Remembering that your confidence, your courage are always there for you to tap into when you need them. This practice reminding you to believe in yourself, to believe in the infinite power that you have. Let's begin to bring ourselves back to our breath. The rise of our inhales, the fall of our exhales. Let's bring ourselves back to our physical body. Perhaps inviting in a few small movements through the toes, through the fingers, through the ankles, through the wrists, through the neck, through the head. And let's take a bigger movement, a full body stretch, reaching the fingers back behind you, pointing your toes forward, feeling once more that expansiveness in the sides of your body. Bring your knees in toward your chest. Take a few gentle rocks side to side. Eventually land on one side of fetal position. And with equal parts gentleness and strength, press yourself up to a seat. Closing the eyes, joining the hands in front of your heart and connecting your thumbs right into your heart, to your center, picking your heart up to meet your thumbs. Returning here to this place of uprightness, of centeredness, of courage. Remembering that our practice never stops here. It's what we do with the things that we cultivate in our practice in the rest of our life that really matters. I thank you all for joining me today.